Okay, Reggie, before we get into today's segment, is there anything you would like to speak on or talk about first?
Man, shout out to the Erie gangs. Happy birthday. It's y'all month. It's y'all time of the year. Enjoy. I hope y'all enjoying y'all spring time of the year. This is my favorite time of the year. I like springtime over even summertime. And a couple of people birthdays, give them some shout outs. Y'all know there's a lot of Aries that come over here on Bomb First. A lot of Aries. From Mob James to Wack100. Yeah, boy. Even old compulsive liar ass Suge Knight. My boy Bob Gotti. A lot of Aries. So shout out to the Aries gangs. Don't forget to support the book, Confessions of a Label Boss. Yeah, pick that up. It's on Amazon. Y'all can get it autographed by me personally. Y'all say I'm going to jail, so y'all might want an autograph picture or a book from your boy Reggie Wright. Might be a collectible. Or y'all can also order it on the Bomb First YouTube channel page. Let's see, what else? That Death Row merchandise, the t-shirts, pick it up. The Bomb First t-shirts. Other than that, man, let's get going. It's going to be a great, great, great week.
So I wanted to ask you about, I know last week's taping session, you asked that the person interviewing Suge to ask him about the 5 security guards to clear that up. It turns out that he doubled down on that, saying that he did make a call for 5 extra security guards and that he had paid for them to all have their guns on them at the time of the Tupac incident in Vegas. Did you see this segment, and do you have any comments or response to
it? Yeah. Y'all know. As soon as I heard that and I heard him say that, I started calling people to have him call me. And he called me. Like, what's up, Reg? What's up? I said, yeah. Why your lying ass keep lying on me? And lying talking about you called me and asked me for 5 security guards. He said, I didn't say that. I said, yes, you did. He said, no, nigga, I ain't never say I called you. He said, I told Frank to call you. I'm like, huh? What? So you saying you told Frank to call me? So now that's what you saying now? Yeah, I told Frank to call you after that shit happened. I said, well, he didn't call me. Well, I didn't know how I'm supposed to know. I said, well, then you need to say that and stop saying you called me because you got this gap-toothed motherfucker that's building this whole channel off of that. And this snitch that say he been talking to you. You talk to rats now? You been talking to snitch joke? That's what he been telling everybody. Oh, no. I don't even know that motherfucker. You know I don't fuck with them. You know I don't be calling nobody. Yeah, okay, whatever, sure. So that's what his response to me was. But did y'all hear the other? And like I keep trying to tell y'all, we do misspeak on things and all that, so I give him the benefit of the doubt. But did y'all hear that nigga say he was paying security guards $350 an hour? $350 an hour? Y'all add that up on a 12-hour shift. How much that is? I wish I was. Man, okay. But I think he just messed up because it was $350 a day that he was paying the right way for the bodyguards. Like I said, the people that work studios and stuff in the office and stuff like that had an hourly rate. And I think at that time it was only like $28 an hour that the company makes. Y'all got to understand what people were paying back in those days. I think the cops was only making like $20 an hour then for off-duty job. Yeah, they were making $25 an hour. So, hey, that's what his response is. I don't know. The only way he's going to clear it up is for apparently Arthur Axe. He has been asking and putting the questions that I've been suggesting that he asked him in, a little ways. So now, the next question of the week that I would like for you to address him, Mr. Dialogue, because I know you keep playing stuff for him and going over there on Vlad channel and since you're a membership and trying to get ahead of this stuff, once you ask him about this. Do you remember that guy from the Bunny Hunters that said they took him in the bathroom and punked him out of $500,000? Hopefully you can ask him about that situation. Let's see if he'll be man enough to respond to that and tell us how that went down. But anyway, yeah, that was his claim. That's his response to me. But he's right. They were supposed to have been armed. I have always said that the bodyguards were supposed to have been armed. Who I said I agreed with and allowed George to tell me, my security, not to have guns was one time inside of the nightclub, Club 662, because we were having a special inspection that day for him to finally get the clearance on the nightclub to be in his name. That was a big thing. He probably didn't know about all that because the attorneys, George Calise and the person that he had running Club 662, we're all dealing with that. Suge is just like a get it done type person. Get it done. He wasn't hands-on on the ins and outs and all of that at that time. But for all those that are saying I'm lying and I disarmed the security, I hope y'all play this for him so you can hear what was said. Because I'm going to keep beating y'all up with this so y'all can stop listening to all these clowns with these motherfucking lies talking about Reggie disarmed security. Because this is what y'all hero, Frank Alexander, had to say.
In this particular time when I got to Vegas the night before September 6th, on September 7th, we had a meeting at this attorney's office. And at this attorney's office, his name was George Clinesis, something like that. And we were told by him, this attorney, that we couldn't carry out guns and this and that, blah, 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 to the club that night. And it was three of us, like Michael Moore was one of them, myself, and Al Gittins, who is still with Snoop to this day, said, no, we carrying our guns. We're gonna, we worked it out to where we were gonna carry our guns, but we were gonna have to leave them in our car while we were inside the club. Okay. And that's how my gun ended up in my car and not on my person that day. And I didn't have time to get my gun because my gun was on the other side of the valet where I had parked earlier that day. And when Pac and Suge was ready to go, they were ready to go. And I couldn't get to my car. I had a SL 500 also, at that time. And I couldn't get to it, so I didn't have it. And Pac, I was getting in the car with Pac and Suge. I literally had my hand on the back door, opening the back door. And Pac stopped me and turned and said, hey, Frank, here's the keys to Kadada's car. You go drive with the Outlaws so you could be our designated driver and drive us back after we leave the club.
So would y'all please stop letting motherfuckers telling y'all Reggie disarmed the security? Would y'all please stop telling Suge all this bullshit in his ear so he can get to the truth? And stop throwing these little subliminal jabs towards Reggie? Because I'm starting to pick up that your ass is trying to say I had something to do with the murder of Tupac on this YouTube airline or airwave. But thank God, we've been talking for the last 3 or 4 months, Suge. Thank God, huh? You know what I mean. I don't have an Apple phone. So my phone don't beep when it's getting taped. Peace bomb first.
Okay. Last week there was a lot of back and forth between Daz and Suge. Daz told a story in his response to Suge about an incident where he had a screwdriver at the office and he held it to Suge's neck or something of that nature. Did you hear that? And do you have any clarity or do you remember that happening?
Daz telling the truth, y'all. Partially. Man, Suge wasn't even in town. We was in New York when that shit happened. I've told this story to you guys before. For those of y'all that really been listening, where he was chasing Roy. Y'all know Roy. Roy weighed less than my wife. Roy was an assistant that was built like my wife. Roy was about 5'4", 5'5", maybe 5'6", I don't know. 130 pounds, if that. Maybe 135 pounds. Ethiopian dude, good dude. He was the brain of the connection, I'll say that, of Death Row. Back in the day, anybody needed to get a hold of Suge, and you called the office, and you were able to get the Roy, because that's the one that Suge picked up no matter what. And if Suge wasn't picking up and we were out of town in the field or something like that, Roy knew how to get a hold of me, and then I got him to Suge or whatever. Roy was the one that was in the office that got chased around by Daz. Now he gonna say he walked out with a big check or something like that. That's how Suge was. I don't know. I know we didn't have checks on the facility. Suge would have to call the check in to this company called Gelfand, to his accountant. Her name was Lisa Romero. She was the bookkeeper that worked for Steve Cantrop. And it always took at least a day to get a check from them. So Daz lying about that. You know, Suge probably got on the phone with Daz and gave him something. You know, like, Daz, nigga, what you coming up there? But I do remember that's when after that happened, because we just had homeboy security, and I don't know where the homeboy security was at that day, because they were the ones working the office at that time, and that was like Hen Dog and maybe Juju or even G. G was up there, but not during that time. I think he had left by that time. But it was people like that worked the office. It was like the office security. But after that, that's when y'all heard of this white boy named White Boy Dave. Y'all remember him, White Boy Dave? That's when I hired White Boy Dave and then put him at the office. So that's when we put a armed or a retired police officer or off-duty police officer assigned to to work the office, which became Dave, White Boy Dave. He started doing little things where he got real close with Norris Anderson and all that, and was working up under them. But that was one of my guys. And so he got me a contract after he did that at the office. But Suge wasn't in town. Suge was in New York when that happened. So that's just Daz lying. But did y'all remember when he used to tell the story was he got $2 million? And then he came down to $100,000 or something like that. I don't know. It probably was $20,000 or $25,000 that Suge went on and got him a check for. Because that's how Suge did with it. That's how Suge dealt with everybody. They get mad. They'll scream, pout, James, everybody. His women, everybody. And then they get to him, and then he'll have a check cut. That's just how Suge operated. That's just how he did. Because he really got a soft heart at heart. He just be playing everybody against each other and lying and manipulating. But if he still needs you in his life for whatever reason he's using you for, then you'll be all right. It's just when he feels as though he don't need you anymore, that's just when the hatred and the bullshit and the negative talking start coming in. Me, I do it all the time. I talk shit about him all the time, and then the next minute I'll be patting him on his back. That's just me. I tell the truth. I call a ball, a strike, a motherfucking strike. Peace.
Okay, I wanted to get your reaction to something that Gene Deal said in a recent interview, and that was that it's a mistravesty of justice that Keefe D doesn't have a bail that he can afford, and that the reason he feels this way is he feels Greg Kading's fed information for Keefe D to repeat so that it would make Greg Kading's rich. And finally, he basically said, eventually, everybody's going to find this out and Keefe D's going to walk. I just wanted to get your response to that.
Yeah, well, thank you, Attorney Gene Dill. Thank you for your input, law degree, law professor, Mr. Dill. Thank you. Okay. Well, that's because Gene's an idiot. He talks out of the side of his ass. He's just recycling stories for views. Y'all keep running over there, so I love what he's doing. I don't blame you. I would be doing it myself if I could just sit up and tell the same stories. Because I could sit up and recap and put and make millions of views off of just playing Suge, what he's saying, and then playing what Reggie done said 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, and I'll be like a fucking prophet. Because pretty much everything Suge is saying, a lot of things Suge said, Reggie has already exposed or said. Right? Y'all have heard it before. But what Gene Deal doesn't know is Greg was going to give him anything to repeat or regurgitate. It would have been something about the Biggie Small case. That's what Greg Kading and them wanted to solve. They did not want to solve no Vegas case. Could care less about the Vegas case. That's what Gene feel to neglect and to not realize. All right. Okay, the inside job thing, who knows? I mean, it's bullshit. It's Keefe D and them know what they did. Everybody know what they did is from LA. But for a motherfucker that's sitting in 3,000 yards away in New York to know whether something's an inside job, that's just like all of y'all on YouTube. It's just a fucking opinion. All you new investigators, all you fucking Perry Masons and all of that that's in the YouTube comments. I'm not even going to argue with it no more. Law enforcement, the people that knows all the facts that deals with this, they have made a conclusion and they putting their reputation on the line. That means the DA in Vegas and the investigator in Vegas and the deputy DAs. So y'all keep arguing with them. Y'all ain't going to argue with Reggie Wright about that anymore. Now, this part about the bill. So it's the system's fault that he can't come up with $75,000 for a murder? $75,000? That's all that's needed, y'all. $750,000 is this man's bill. Have you heard of anybody bill that low for a murder? In California, they give brothers $1 million bill for murders and all that. And once they see they about to be able to make that $1 million, they raise it up. But that's just the standard. You get arrested in California for a murder case, it generally starts off with $1 million. After that, it goes up. If they see, once you go to court, or they know that they have a good case or whatever. So, I don't know about in y'all states or where y'all from, or the cases that attorney, investigator, or law enforcement officer, or what you really are, probation officer, Gene Deal knew in his experience was $750,000. 10% of that, $75,000 for a murder case is a fair and reasonable bill. Now, if he's saying it's a travesty that what happened with the situation with Wack100 and all of that, well, who knows? It's obvious something fishy going on there. It's obvious. Something fishy was going on there. But answer this. There was a basketball player, I won't call his name out right now, that was also trying to build Keefe D out. We know their money came from legit corporations, right? Each one of those 30, 32 teams, whatever's in the NBA, I think it's 30 NBA teams, all their money is legit, right? And those shoe companies and all of that. Well, why wasn't their bill, or why wasn't that money accepted as well? I don't know. There's something going on with Keefe and his family and the property, because nobody's putting up their property for him. And nobody's just going to put up $750,000 for him. So it's not that it's unfair about the $75,000. It's just that his wife is obviously, and I think they just renting, but who knows? I don't know. I ain't read a title check. I don't do investigative stuff like this, like, Snitch No Joke and Gap Tooth and Carpet Head or Uncle Fester and all of them do. But if she wanted to put the house up to get him out, along with somebody giving him $75,000, he would have been out. But it's obvious nobody trusts him like that. So, hey man, Gene just over there recycling stories. He's, but he's getting his numbers and doing what he's supposed to do. I don't blame him. But you're not just going to sit up and try to muddy up the investigation over here while I'm still out and around. Y'all know I like to say I'm out because I like trolling you motherfuckers and say while I'm out and all of that. Reggie ain't going nowhere. Reggie is very confident. But we'll see. We'll be talking to all of y'all this time next year. And we'll see what y'all be saying then. Your time is coming, Reggie. You're next. I ain't Big U or Loose Cannon. Clowns.
Okay, just to follow up on Gene Deal, do you find it odd that, in some videos he talks about how someone walked up on the car, and then in other things he talks about how Zip was involved with Keefe in that situation, and then now he's saying it's an inside job. Is it odd that the story changes, or is that kind of just how that goes with that? It's just an opinion, so it can always change.
If you listen to Gene, that's what Gene does. Gene, see, I used to work with Art, so I know how Art does it. Art kind of coaches you to where he want to take that video that particular day. And so he's just letting Art manipulate him like a puppet and playing him. And then they say, this is how we're going to say it this day. You're going to say the $1 million check today, you saw the $1 million check and all of that and throw that out. You're going to say this. This is just how they do it to keep the content going for YouTube and for views and for the subject of the day. As I always tell you, none of these motherfuckers believe what they be saying or reporting. They don't believe it. They just think of what fits nice in the title for their video for the day to get them some views so people could click. Because we all know this is an entertainment value, entertainment thing. Suge Knight, if y'all go listen on that video, he said, if I tell the truth and get factual, if I eat it on a video telling stories and said, because if I tell the truth and get factual, Diddy will never get out of jail. What you mean if you tell the truth and get factual? So you been lying? Hell yeah, that nigga been lying. He playing y'all like a motherfucking puppet. So I don't know if it's Art that's a mastermind that's good with creating these stories, or if Gene and Suge and people like that, Reggie, has just learned how to work this YouTube shit to get views. And obviously it ain't Reggie because I don't do as good as those two. Because y'all don't like to hear the truth. But you come to Bomb First, you get the truth over here, whether you like it or not. No hot sauce and salt and pepper over here. Just straight facts. Peace.
Okay, Suge spoke about the incident with Big Jake just recently. And I know that was another question that you were hoping that somebody asked Suge was, to see if he was a serial slapper or whatever. Going by his take of the events that happened, and I know you weren't there, but I know you heard about it. Does it sound like what you had heard happened?
Well, kind of, sort of. Yeah, pretty much. He talked about the kicking in the ass at the hospital, huh? Y'all remember I told that story a while ago? I think I retold it again when I told you when somebody from Bad Boys came up there and he kicked them in the ass. Well, he said he won't tell what he did. Now, Suge gonna be Suge. He didn't deny or confirm that he slapped Puffy. But y'all gotta remember, at the party, he never told that in the story about that's why the shooting happened. He told that as after I did, after the shooting happened. He said he did what he did to Diddy. And I always said he told me that he grabbed him by his collar and was like, nigga, I know you're responsible for this. I know you're responsible for this. And that's why he sent somebody up to the hospital saying, hey, we ain't had nothing to do with this. We ain't had nothing to do with this. But did y'all hear anything about him slapping JD like the motherfuckers were saying? Did y'all hear him saying he walked in and slapped Diddy? You remember those stories? Y'all forget those stories. Where y'all had him coming in there like he's a motherfucking serial slapper. Hey! Just slapping niggas. Y'all don't remember all those stories those niggas was telling? Because they were getting views. And that was entertaining. But this shouldn't say anything like that. He said it was something that went on behind a girl. Like I said. Now, I know y'all probably wondering why he talked about the story about the brother coming. And he trying to insinuate like the brother killed him or had something to do because Jake didn't want to be paralyzed. If y'all really listen to it, that's what he's trying to insinuate. Or that he was talking to him. That's the Suge with the lies, y'all. That's just how he do it. The reason why he had to throw that part in about the brother came in there, if y'all go and listen back to that and how he talked about how the brother came and the story stands, what he said with the brother and all that, well, she was catching a lot of heat back in the hood. No, y'all don't know about all of that. No politics and stuff. But those West Side dudes and those Campanellas really heard the story from people that they know. How Suge took Big Jake and threw him in front of him when they were trying to shoot and used him as a body shield. Just as people said he did to fucking Tupac. Just as he did when they tried to kill him at the club and when they tried to kill him at the Roxy Club and the club promoter got shot. Y'all know, well, I know I talk too much. I know too much. But when he threw that man in front of him and that club promoter, y'all know the Felipe and now, I'll just say him and his partner, when they got shot. So that's what Suge does. He's accused of. So that was the rumor that was going around about Big Jake and all of that. That's what I believe that happened as well. But hey, that's his story. Let him stand by it. Told you, Mr. Knight, you don't want Reggie Wright as an enemy. You out there trying to put me, you trying to insinuate and play games like me. I catch subliminals. I catch stuff very well. You're better off with me being a friend than an enemy. Stop coming on YouTube saying one thing and then running back when you get on the phone and call me saying another thing. I'm not playing with you no more. Because you playing with my freedom. You want a nigga sitting in the cage being a big old whale telling tales like you. Always talking that you don't want to be handicapped. You would rather be a man and all of that. Nigga, I catch your jabs and stuff like that. Well, didn't you say, I read a brief where you're blind in one eye and only have 10 to 15% of vision in the other. Fuck that. If I can't see nothing, you'll be running around here, can't see, having a seeing eye dog and shit. Nah, I'd rather be like I am than to can't see my dick go in the pussy. They be putting a big old fat woman in front of you. You wouldn't know. Peace.
Okay, so Reggie, I guess this is breaking news because on one of Suge's recent interviews, he talked about how, he gave Tupac a better deal and that Tupac took Death Row to the next level, and essentially saying that Tupac was indeed signed to Death Row, even though if Suge didn't pay him, Interscope would, but that he gave Tupac a greater deal and gave him more money and things of that nature. Did you hear that when he insinuated that? And did you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I heard that. But, it's kind of hard. I mean, I know there's always been an assignment of a contract. You have shown it. We have shown it. We have heard him talk about it and double talk around it and all of that. But you got to remember, we don't know everything that he's been saying over there because he's on a channel and dealing with a guy that has been pushing the narrative with this gap tooth motherfucker that Tupac was never signed to Death Row. But now he getting views off of Suge, you know, he ain't telling him all the stuff that he used to put out there about him, how he was stealing, cheating people, and how, man, Suge was gassing up Tupac. He was saying all of that stuff, and there would be, man, he'd probably still be alive if he would have never signed to Death Row and went over there to Death Row. That used to be his question. Just like the fake question and the gassing up Tupac question was always the main topic over there. But, now that he don't know that that's the person that's been doing that. And I don't blame him. Shit, if he was giving me the amount of money that they've been giving me and all of that and giving to my family or my girl or my son or whatever, people, I will go over there and entertain it. Because, it's obvious him and Dave Mays fell out for whatever reason. Say I'm lying. Say I'm lying. Please say I'm lying. And how they think of Dave Mays and all of that now. And so yeah, I get it. Suge is, man. It's kind of hard for me to say, because one minute I'm saying, yeah, Suge told the truth about that. I never say Suge is a complete liar. I just say he lies about some things. Y'all think just because y'all catch somebody in one lie, then they are a complete liar and all of that. I have always said about 75% of the shit that he say is true. Suge just like to throw salt and pepper on it. He's obsessed with, calling people gay and homosexuality and all of that. And he's the biggest, baddest, toughest guy in the world. Well, all right, we all got that. He always talking about what he gonna do to somebody and all that when he get out. But then nigga gonna be needing to see an eye dog in a couple of years, if not. But he always gonna do this and everybody supposed to be scared of that. Okay, whatever. I always told you, nigga, I always respected you. I ain't never in motherfucking life feared you. And I'm sure you know that. But, yeah, I'm taking it very offensive when the nigga calling me, telling me one thing, and be like, I ain't talking about you. But when I hear shit, be like, God damn, is this nigga throwing a jab at me? Oh, I catch things. I know how the nigga get down is. I was his orchestrator for the longest. So I know his get down better than him or anybody. It ain't nobody. I don't even think his sister Karen could say that they know how that nigga move better than I do. If not, we neck to neck. But anyway, hey, I sure still love him, but you ain't gonna get freebies on me. Got it? But that's Suge. Suge just playing the game. He know the contract was assigned and he was responsible. That's why he say, I paid 50% for his videos. Interscope deal, it was 100%. He only was getting 8 points, so he say, on this contract. I gave him more points and all of that. Suge been saying that. It's just, like I said, I don't know if that's for Art cutting out those parts where he explained, but he has always said Tupac was on his label and all of that, but he said technically because it was an assignment. But if technically, I don't even think Suge know the real how it was structured. Because how he said it all initiated or originated Didn't I tell y'all? He went up there originally on some homie love stuff. Then he went up there and found out, or they were trying to do just something for him to generate some money. When they did that one thing where he was going to let Dr. Dre remix some of the songs and produce some of it. Then he had the basketball analogy with David Kenner in front of Pac. And then they found out they were able to get him out on appeal bond. So it wasn't like how everybody say, go get him, Suge, go get him. It didn't go like that. It went in stages. Suge went up there about 4 or 5 times to visit Pac before they realized you had this statement come up. And this is the day right before, and this is why he made that statement.
I'd like to tell Tupac to keep his guards up. We ride with him.
When he told Tupac to keep your guards up, and he had a picture of him over there in the cell on the stage. That's the real, y'all. But it's kind of hard for me to say, yeah, I told y'all, and say, I've been telling y'all, because I don't know if the nigga got what Daz say right here, or he's trolling us, or as somebody very, very close to me say, he's just a motherfucking compulsive liar. I don't know which one it is. Peace.
Okay. Tony Busby, the lawyer that was taking on all those Diddy cases, announced that he is separating himself from over a dozen of those cases. I just wanted to get your thoughts on it because I know that's something that we've talked about kind of ongoing as stuff developed. And I wanted to get your reaction to the news that he is going to be taken off over a dozen cases involving Diddy.
All right, y'all. Well, I swear, and only people that really understand this is people that's like in paralegal law, the law field, or attorneys and stuff like that. This video is going to be too deep for a lot of y'all. Y'all going to find out later on it's going to come to be true. But what Tony Busby did, and he fucked up, there's something that you have to do when you work in different districts in the federal courts. So it's not like his license is suspended in New York, like people are reporting and all of that. What's happening is when you get a complaint filed against you, like he did by Jay-Z and the lawyer and all of that, then you can't do what they call pro hoc. Pro hoc is a term that you'll have to look up, or a lot of attorneys will be up, they know what I'm talking about, is when you have a state bar license for certain states, right? But in federal court, you have to get permission to go and work in these districts in the courthouse. So it's not even just for the state. They have what they call Central District of New York, or Eastern District, or Southern, and all of these different districts in each state for the feds. And so what you do is you pro hoc. So that means this is another way for them to get some money for you to be able to work in that district. Tony Busby fucked up. So before that bullshit case that he took for Jay-Z and all of that, he got this complaint filed against him, they neglected to pro hoc in that area in New York. I'm sure some paralegal or some associate or something like that got fired. Was going to get fired in his office because they didn't do that on all of the cases before they do that. My wife do this daily doing pro hoc. So this is what she do because she works a lot with federal courts. And so they dropped the ball. All he's going to do, y'all, just reassign it to another associate, and then they'll be able to pro hoc in those areas. But he's going to also use this as an excuse to get rid of some of the cases that are weak, because he was just filing cases. Anything with a picture or something, he was filing because he thought Diddy was going to settle right quick, or the A-listed artists or people were going to settle. Some of them probably have. You better believe some of these people have settled. We just haven't heard about it because of the confidentiality. Because you remember it was 140 something, 120 something, and now it only turned out to be like, 15 or 16. So some of those hundreds and something have, settled and like, hey, I don't need to be tied with this. Sometimes it's better just to pay them for the lawyer fees and all that just to get it away. But all y'all going to find out is another associate going to take over the case or going to assume the allegations or whatever, especially the good ones. Somebody that's going to come in as a partner of his or something like that was what they're going to do. And then they're going to pro hoc into that district and then it'd be all good. But he dropped the case on that. I see a lot of YouTube channels saying, oh, the Diddy case about to get dropped. Well, the Diddy case ain't brought none of these civil complaints in to the criminal side. So how you going to lose something? I swear, you guys on YouTube or these YouTube channels and all of that, these people cracks me up. It's just for real attorneys and law enforcement people and people that know whatever profession it is that people be talking about, to hear people set up and just talk on YouTube, I know they be like, damn, where did they get that from? I know y'all do that to me when y'all first hear stuff from me. But if you really, really listen to Reggie and Bomb first over here, every motherfucking thing we say eventually comes the truth. It eventually pans out. And y'all don't see it because, a lot of y'all brainwashed by my little haters that get 2,000 or 3,000 views. And so, but if y'all keep it real, y'all go and really listen to all of that, those Suge segments and all of that. When Keefe D gonna get arrested? What's going to happen to Diddy and all that? Where do y'all hear it first at? Where have y'all heard it first at? But the answer to the question, make a long story short, yeah, he messed up by not getting approved in that district. But trust me, the cases that are good, he'll just have an associate in his law firm, pro hoc in that area, or he'll sell the case off to somebody else. Because y'all don't know what attorneys have. They have something that they also have called a third of a third. I remember David Kenner, we used to always accuse him of doing that. They assign a case out, they get a third, they have a deal with you for a third. And so then they assign that case out, and then they'll be like, so-and-so got to happen. But I'll give this case to you. And then they get a third of that third. And so he'll just make some money on that way. But the main thing for this video is just because those civil cases have some issues right now, has nothing at all to do with his criminal case. All right? But this is one of those videos that's going to have to grow on y'all. I know it. I get it. Come and talk to me in October. And y'all be, oh, yeah. Reggie and John was right. Peace.
Hey, Wack. So Suge did a segment recently, and he was saying that, I don't know if he was talking about Bomb First or he was talking about other platforms. I'm not sure. But he was saying that anybody that allows people to come on their platform and say Tupac got assaulted in jail needs to be banned and people need to boycott it. I just wanted to get you and Reggie's response to him saying something like that.
Well, he himself said Tupac was assaulted in jail. So, he's doing what Suge do. Suge is a habitual liar, right? These days ain't nothing about him real. I don't understand how a man that's sitting on a PC protective custody yard is even calling around like his voice makes a difference. Let's just do the math. He had his run, 92 to about, I'm going to give him 2000. Well, I'm going to give him 97 because 97 to 01, 02 was Reggie anyway. Well, we give it to you. and you officially went broke probably about '05. I had to bury your mama, give you money for hotel rooms. If anybody pays attention, the nigga caught a murder driving a pickup truck. So I don't even feed into nothing he's saying because he's the epitome of what you don't want to be. Period. I mean, 59 years old, with 11 years left to do on a 28-year sentence. Why? Because he couldn't go to trial because he was running his mouth on the phone. So, at this point in time, Tupac. Nigga, let's keep it real. Tupac died broke. Now, y'all ask Suge Knight why Tupac sold all them motherfucking albums, but he died broke.
Well, that's because the county wasn't due yet. Let's stay off of Tupac.
Suge, nigga, you talk about this nigga like a dog. Him, his mama, everybody. Like, Reg, you got the content over there. Let it go. Y'all be trying to hold on to a relationship with this bitch ass nigga, man. Nigga done snaked everybody.
Yeah, he did that.
You gonna do fuck with him again? Hey, you notice how he don't call me?
Yeah.
Cause I'm gonna get at him just like this.
Yeah.
He's a snake.
I agree with you on that. Oh, I just did a whole segment, a whole episodes about him being a snake and how he's a habitual liar. So I agree with you on that.
Anybody that helps him, he snakes on him.
Yeah.
Reg, even right now, the people today trying to help him, he's snaking on him, and you know it, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Ray J, the truth be told,
Yeah.
the real reason why he's mad at Ray J, because Ray J was giving him $5,000 a month, thinking they was in business with him, until 5 more people emailed Ray J and showed him the same contract. Sure, you gonna talk about it, talk about it.
Yeah.
What you think he wasn't paying you because he was scared of you, nigga. He was paying you because he thought y'all was in business. Once he see the business is bad, he's supposed to pull out the deal.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Yeah. And I heard he was getting it from Nick as well. I hear Nick still looking out. But, yeah.
I don't know. If whatever Nick doing, Nick probably is doing out the kindness of his heart.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, like I said, y'all get mad at us for talking about Suge and all of that and exposing what we have exposed and all that. But it came out of Suge's mouth. He always saying anybody that do this or did that should be canceled. Well, that he should be canceled because he's the one that said it. We just reported what he said.
Look, I only know about it because he said it.
Because he said it.
He told us.
Yeah. Well, you heard the audio, but he have told you that in private before.
Man, that nigga been told me that 10, 15 times.
If y'all don't believe that this is something that's been out there and is told by him, y'all listen to the conversation me and Danny Boy had when he first came around. Y'all remember what he said, what Danny Boy said on the live stream with us, that they used to call him, and jokingly, they used to call him soda pop. Soda pop was 12-ounce cans. Y'all take it with your imagination why Danny Boy made the statement about call him soda pop. Also, there was a lady that used to be on a group chat. I hear for all you geeks and nerds that used to be on that on that Death Row, what was it called, John? You know what, messenger board or whatever?
Yeah, the forums.
The forums. She used to talk about it. What was that white chick that used to work at Death Row that said how Suge used to talk about that around the office?
I can't remember her name, but it was a girl who was doing promotions. She was going to work on some magazine or something with George Price and Death Row, and then she had a seizure in a meeting or something like that, and they let her go. I can try to find her name, and I'll put it on the screen.
But anyway, our whole point is we're not here saying it's true or not. We wasn't there. We just saying the nigga that been saying it is now trying to get Wack or Reggie or whoever canceled off of other channels and all of that, and saying they need to be canceled because now he want to weaponize Tupac's name.
Red. You giving this dude too much. Don't nobody give a fuck what Suge say.
Yeah.
Suge ain't got no power to cancel nobody. In this realm right here, we are bigger than him. This is the internet, YouTube, blogging, podcasting. He ran a successful business for 5-6 years, and he lost his business in its entirety. He don't get a royalty check. He don't get shit. Right? This is a nigga that couldn't pay a fucking attorney. So at the end of the day, I'm not even entertaining him saying cancel anybody. Nobody listens to him. Nobody cares. He's already canceled himself. Nigga, you 59 with another. He will be out when he's 70 years old. He can barely walk today. You know this.
Can't see.
He on a
Can't see. Nigga say he blind in one eye and got 10% in the other. He gonna be, you need to see an eye, dog, in the next few years at least.
Yeah, so we ain't nobody even giving this dude that type of lane, that type of voice, none of that type of shit, bro. Fuck dude, Reg. We got big business going on. I got other shit going on. You been a brother to me for motherfucking 23 years, 24 years. So when this other shit open up, you coming with me anyway. So fuck with dude. Let that dude talk about what he talk about. We gonna continue our journey, right? With this thing we doing. You got a lot of shit over there. If you want to cancel him, Reg, you can cancel him. You got
trying to get it in the lifeline.
You just, for some reason, you on casting. And you usually send me everything, but you send me something and you get out of line, it's coming out.
Yeah.
So you still be protecting the nigga.
Yeah.
But stop giving this dude can't call. I mean, Red, just keep it real. His called into power left at about 99.
Yeah.
Like, he ain't got that conversation nowhere with nobody, bro.
Yeah.
Let's just be real.
You're right.
I talk to Snoop every week. He can't call him. He disrespects Snoop. Even after Snoop agreed to help him and zero out any fees if he ever needed any Death Row music, he's still gonna talk crazy about Snoop.
I get that. I don't get that to this day. Why is he sitting
He wants
online?
the world to think he was on Snoop bumper when you know damn well when Snoop caught you slipping in Vegas, when he had his people with you, he sent them to their room and went to your room, Suge, by himself, and you sat there for 2 hours telling them how much you appreciate him and could y'all get shit back going. But then when the world looking, you want to act like you the big bad wolf. Come on, bro, knock it off, bro. Like, end of the day, dude is, every time he goes to these little platforms, Reggie is showing you where he's at.
I know. Yeah.
Scarface said it best. You drop your dick in the dirt, we know exactly how to send it at you. He's letting us know where he can't go and where he's at.
So before Big U turned himself in or whatever, he did like an Instagram video where he said, "Oh, this is because the Wack and the internet stuff and all this stuff that all this is happening." I didn't know if you saw that video or if you had a reaction to it.
Talking about I'm a fugitive, so they just raided all my houses. 600 was actually with the police when they raided my house. He's actually got video and footage of it, so y'all know what y'all dealing with. And I just want to say this to y'all. When they raided my houses and my property, they was asking about Wack, Loose Cannon, 600, and this internet stuff. All of y'all filed. All y'all who be sending shit around the internet, all y'all who be promoting and listening to what these niggas saying, all y'all giving these likes and hidden likes, all y'all supporting this. All y'all guilty of this. If you had something against a black man, you should handle it with a black man in the streets. Wack said 100 times he was gonna take my contracts. He working with the FBI. The FBI went to the city 3 days in a row and told the city they didn't want nobody to give me no more money. They went to all the different celebrities and told all the different celebrities, don't give me no money, don't help me, don't do nothing for me. They going around scaring and intimidating everybody.
Well, it was funny to me because what that let me know is, and Reg, I'll send it to you. You can put that out this entirety if you want.
Okay.
What that let me know is this bozo didn't take heed to the warning we gave him, right? Because no way he went and got legal. First thing he was supposed to do when he heard the warning we gave him is go get legal. No way he went and got legal, because legal would have told him what his complaint was about, right? So let's go over his complaint. His complaint dates back to 2021. One, murder on a kid that used to live in your house. A kid whose mother was the team mom of your football organization that passed out oranges and Capri Suns to the kids. Murder. Two, sex trafficking with the girl Monty, who used to run the taco truck for Trap Kitchen. The same girl that's impregnated with his child now. Ooh. It's in the paperwork. It's up on the _100 show. You'll see where Big U's on wiretap telling his friends about the broad he's having sex with, and it's Monty, right? She's in there. So you got sex trafficking for ordering prostitutes to be transported from LA to Las Vegas, and they got $1 amount, and they got a description of what you want them to come do, right? So the second thing is sex trafficking. Three, you got embezzlement. Monies that celebrities was giving to you to donate to the youth, they're showing you wiring the money to your personal account and you using it for your own personal use. Four, you got extortion. Extortion all the way up from 2022 to March 14th, 2025 on a dude they call Victim 1, who they call Monster, whose real name is Dale. He's a party promoter and he owns a weed dispensary. So they got you over 200 different accounts of extortion to where he's wiretapped, and the feds were actually giving Dale, victim number 1, the money to pay you. And we ain't talking about 100,000, $1 million. You extorting for $1,000 a week, was let the people know how you was hurting, right? 5, you got wire fraud. Now, here's the thing. I have nothing to do with these things. The only where I place I'm mentioned in your paperwork is you on the phone talking to somebody about me, which now you put the light on me. Now, guess what, Reggie? He knew his phone, his attorney told him in 2021, 2022, his phone was hot. He knew it was hot, but the reason why he ignored it, because he knew he was working for the Popies anyway. So in his mind, that's why it's hot. He never knew there was a different division in the same agency that had his phone tapped. So when you say Wack100 and 600 are the reason why I'm in jail, I have nothing to do with the murder. Your guy, Bay, Sylvester Robinson, your right-hand man, the guy that doesn't gangbang, that you took around gangbang shit, who drives you everywhere, yeah. The one that you pulled in, or you had go collect all the extortion money, yeah, they pulled him in 11 months ago and threatened with extortion, and he gave him all the details of the murder that he witnessed that you did to Rayshon Williams. Rest in peace, condolences to his family, and told him where you drug him, dumped him in the ditch, where y'all went. It's in the paperwork. This is your guy, right? So you brought all this on yourself. What does this have to do with Wack100 or 600? We got a heads up. I sent you the audio. You can play in its entirety from the family. They found DNA on the little boy's body under the nails, wherever it may have been, right? And they was going to go pick him up at the end of March, top of April. Don't tell him, don't tell nobody about it. You know what we did? We announced it. Why? At least go get your affairs in order, go get your legal in order. We let you know what it is. Now, you didn't take heed to the warning. That's on your dumb ass.
And told my mom.
Okay, well, let me understand something, right? This been a couple years. What year was your brother killed?
My brother was killed in 22.
So it took them 3 years to do fucking DNA?
They said that Big U was running for a long time. Like, he didn't want to take the DNA test.
But here goes the thing. Big U's DNA is already on file for when he paroled. You see what I'm saying? Like my DNA is on file. Like right now, if I did something and I left some blood or saliva and they run it to the system, it's gonna match me. When I paroled out the penitentiary, they made me swab. But then again, Big U had a dope case, huh? He might not have. So that he probably wasn't. He had a dope case, it's conspiracy. So
yeah, they
wait,
found his DNA test in my brother's nails.
Okay, so that's bad work.
So that means my brother's fault.
Yeah, didn't you tell me that your brother friend said it was something going on, a fight or something? Or?
Something was going on. When I told you that Big U had popped up at my brother Airbnb.
In Vegas.
Yes. And the best friend was there, whatever. But the best friend said that he didn't want to talk to my brother in front of him, so he pulled my brother upstairs to the side. He said that he knew something was going on because when Big U left and my brother came. When Big U left the Airbnb and my brother came back downstairs, he said his whole energy was off.
So what did
but the best friend ended up leaving my brother the next morning.
Yeah, I remember you told me that. And how long after that did they find your brother? The next day or next couple days?
The next day. They found him the next day.
So what the fuck did he have going on with Big U? What was they doing?
Hold on. Let my mom tell you because she know everything. Hold on.
They found that shit under them nails. His ass was grass.
Mama?
Yes.
Okay. So basically,
how you doing?
I'm okay. How you doing?
Good. I was tripping that it took 3 years
4 years.
To run DNA.
It just made.
So what? They was contacting Big U to come give up DNA and he wouldn't do it?
Well, what had happened was when they was doing the investigation and they wanted to take down DNA, he wouldn't give them his DNA. So they had to serve him a search warrant to get his DNA.
You know what's crazy about that? When we paroled out of CDC penitentiary, they take our DNA from us upon parole. They probably wasn't thinking. Like my DNA, when I paroled in 1999, they swabbed my mouth, all that, and they put it in the system. So let's say if I committed a crime and left some DNA, if they swabbed that DNA and put it in the system, it'll show. But that's California. It might be because the Nevada's not linked. Could be that. Because Nevada, is this the feds or Nevada PD on your son's murder?
It's both. They transferred the case to the FBI out there in Vegas, and Las Vegas police department is still handling the case as well.
600 wasn't there for the raid. The raid, they say, happened at 5:30. This is what the neighbors say. Your neighbors are the ones I looked out for when they come over there, are the ones that tell us, hey, the FBI at his house. This is the second raid you had at your house.
We talked about that a year ago, raid that happened at his house.
You remember that, right?
Yeah.
So this time, 600 said, I'm going to drive by there and see. And when he drove by there, it was FBI taped off, and then you could clearly see the videos coming from the street from a vehicle through the passenger side window. So him saying, we got the video. No, dummy, you ain't got the video. It's a video 600 put up recording your house. There's no video of 600 with them when they kick in your door there that time of morning. And then he tells another lie. Oh, yeah, at the time they raided my house, all they kept asking us and saying is Wack100 name. Bozo, you or your family wasn't there. Hello? So if you or your family wasn't there when they raided, hello? How in the fuck are they asking y'all about Wack100 name doing the raid? Y'all gotta read between the lines. What he attempted to do, well, fuck it, I'm going down, I'm gonna put this out about it. That's what their attempt was. Yeah. But if you look at it and use your brain, hey, we looking at you and all your family in the fucking caravan. So they was not there. Then the news said you guys wasn't there. So how in the fuck are the feds asking y'all about me when y'all not there doing the raid?
Yeah. Drowning man syndrome is what we call it over here. When you're drowning, you're trying to pull people down with you. Yeah.
I mean, like, Reds, like, goddamn.
Yeah. Have you reached out to Loose Cannon? I know y'all kind of was on the outs.
He just called me.
Okay.
He just got off my phone about an hour ago. He waiting to be extradited to be go to the
Man, I heard he went from Vegas to Arizona.
Nah, he's still in Nevada. He's up in Pahrump. He's waiting to be extradited back to L.A. to try to get another bail hearing on the L.A. side.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Kind of give a word of advice. I had put up some audio that I had got hold to. Just kind of advise his wife for me because I kind of like her. Something about her I like her, and I know that's your.
Oh, you talking about Loose Cannon's wife?
Yeah. I mean, like her, as a nice lady, and I'm saying that to say this kind of advise her about be careful with that recording stuff in the courtrooms and stuff like that.
I mean, I do what I can do. I usually when I tell somebody, I simply send them the information on what it is I'm talking about. So,
yeah.
But certain things can't do in certain courtrooms.
Yeah, I know that's your friend, so they never need anything. Let us know over here. Yeah.